Hey everyone, welcome back to part 2 of Minotaur Hunter. I'm Ultraviolent4 and we are still waiting. Still waiting on a lot of things. Most important is that we're still waiting to find a god. We've passed up a couple of perfectly applicable ones because I have decided that I would like to go Chei. So we're probably waiting for the temple. Although if my last Chei game is anything to go by, we're not going to find him until the latest possible point in time. That was a Naga something. Anyway, we found him on D9, I think, which is the latest time that you'll find a regular god by. So hopefully we don't have to wait that long for the temple. Or Chei, if Chei is not in the temple. We're also waiting on some more removed curse scrolls so that we can try out our rings here. I think that's the main thing. Yep. And we're waiting on some more ranged ammunition, or some throwing things basically, so we can throw them. At the moment we've only still got the 6 javelins that we started with as actual damaging throwing weapons, so we've been relying more on our blowgun for our ranged attacks. I mean, our +2 Dagger of Elec is really good too, but it would be nice if we could get, say, a stack of tomahawks or something like that we could throw. Also have a really sick chainmail that's got invis on it that we're training for. So yeah, if you summed up all those things we're still waiting on, I bet there'd be 42 of them. No, 41! Damn it, I messed it up. Oh, next time. But beyond that, everything's going pretty well. Minotaur aptitudes are crazy. We're training evocation so we can use invis, and yeah, other than that, I feel like this character is really strong so far. So let's keep going. Hopefully we can find a D6 temple. D7 is the absolute latest place it can be. Hey, there it is. Why didn't we pick that wand up? Oh, it was random effects. Okay, anyway, we found the temple. If we do get Chei, then we can't use random effects anyway. Alright, he was there. I saw it. The snail altar. You can hit Control O to have a look. We've seen every regular god except for Ashen'Zari, which is fine. I think if you wanted a more straightforward Minotaur throwing game, you would go with Okawaru. Not only is Okawaru just a really strong, straightforward god with heroism giving you +5 to all your combat skills is really, really strong. But also for anything that uses ranged ammunition, that's true for bows, crossbows, etc. But even throwing, Okawaru will give you gifts. So it's a really nice way just to play a throwing game because then you don't have to worry too much about mulching all your things because Okawaru will give you more. But I'd like to spice it up a little bit. Let's go with Chei. It's basically, Minotaurs are really strong, so I find it more interesting if I cripple my character a little bit. Chei is not a good god for streaking. It's actually one of the worst gods for streaking that you can pick. And that's because Chei actually initially harms you. So we see at the start here that Chei is the god of deliberation. Those following Chei will travel more slowly the further they progress in their faith. They're forbidden from using means to haste themselves or other things, which is why we couldn't use the Wand of Random Effects, can haste enemies. In the process of so imitating their god, they attain perfection of mind and body, mysteries of time unfold, blah 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 blah. The main point here is that we get slowed down, and being able to walk away from things is one of the most powerful plays that you can make in Crawl. And walking away from things while hasted is even stronger than that. Let's pick up Chei. So we're committed to this. But when you're slower, you lose that ability, especially in the early game where you're potentially lacking tools of escape. You might meet something that's really nasty, like an early double-headed ogre. Any regular character could walk away from it, but if you're Chei, you might just die, which is why not a good streak god. Ultimately, your Chei character becomes more powerful because you get You get plus 15 to all stats. That's one thing. So we talked last episode about having extra strength gives you extra damage. Well, when you've got plus 15 strength, that's significant. The plus 15 dex is really helping you evade things, and your plus 15 int lets you potentially cast spells, even in heavy armor. This character's probably not going to do it, but it's possible. So you do end up really strong, and then on top of that, literally really strong with millions of strength. But then on top of that, you get a bunch of invocations that no, you train invocations so that you get a bunch of abilities that also help you out and give you some panic buttons. But until you get those, you're really in trouble, or potentially. Anyway, we're going to give it a go. I'm going to turn invocations on. Am I going to? Yeah, I am. I'd like to get the invocations usable as soon as I get them, especially step from time, which is your panic button. As soon as I have that, I want to be able to not be failing it, because it can really get you out of some binds. So I'm going to set a skill target for 10 invocations, which seems about right. My game is really lagging out. Alright, so Chei is going to give us piety as we kill things that are faster than us. He's going to especially like it when we kill faster enemies. So he thoroughly appreciated killing that adder because it's fast. We got a mite. Alright, so the plan is, if you recall, we're going all in on strength. And we're going to have really damaging stones. I've forgotten, but we should be walking around with our blowgun out. Glowing short sword, let's test that. Let's back up. I'm not too afraid of orcs yet, but if we killed that orc with one poison needle. But we're still probably going to struggle with orc warriors. So if we can't walk away from those, which we can't, an early Orc Warrior would be threatening. We don't have any remove curse still, so we can't test that sword. Could just be -3 cursed short sword, which wouldn't be fun. Here's a jelly. It's yellow. It's actually quite dangerous this early in the game. You might not think that, because by the time you see jellies normally, they're usually fairly trivial. But it's this bit here right at the end where they deal extra acid damage if any damage is dealt. It's actually a huge amount of acid damage. It's 21, I believe. 7d3, yes, so they can do 21 extra acid damage, and that's going to give you corrosion -4, which means you're then susceptible to the next stuff. So I could polymorph it. 61% chance we could get something even nastier. Why don't we try to go invis? Okay, so we went invis. Wait, they can see invis? Wow, okay, so regular jellies can see invis. Damn it. I knew the later jellies could, so your acid blobs and the like, but I didn't know regular jellies could. Alright, so that was a waste of some turns. Let's throw some javelins then. We'll try to do as much damage to it as possible before it actually gets on top of us. And now we go elect. Alright, so that looked fine. You might be thinking that I totally overreacted there, but really it can go very, very nasty if you get hit by that. Have a look. Time here, the top right, the number in brackets is telling us that we're moving at 1.3 per turn rather than 1. So we're actually, immediately upon learning Chei, we're already too slow to walk away from things. But yeah, you gotta take things seriously. You're gonna streak Chei, you gotta be a bit more on the careful side. You gotta take it easy, you know? Oh, wow. Okay, so here is a fantastic example of where Chei can utterly just destroy you in the early game. So this is a D6 Manticore. These guys are extremely dangerous around D12, I would say. Well, by the time you get into shoals, they're normally not too dangerous. But if you find these guys anywhere in the dungeon before you head into lair, They are really nasty. And well, okay, so we got barbed, so not being Chei wouldn't really matter anyway. But say we hadn't got barbed there, we could then start walking away from the Manticore. But actually, we're just dead. We have a fear scroll, which might not get it. Anyway, let's have a look at the Manticore. Let's XV it. A D6 Manticore is one of the most out of depth things I've seen in a very long time. Can bite for 26 damage, claw twice for 14 each, which is what, 54 damage. So this guy can almost one-shot us in melee. So we can't fight it, and then we now can't walk away from it because it's barbed us. So if we have a look at the barb status, let's see, where's T for status? Barb. Barbs embedded in your skin. Moving around will cause you to take damage. Remaining in place for a short time will allow you to remove the barbs. So yeah, again, not being Chei wouldn't really matter here because as we try to walk away from this guy, we're going to be taking damage. And I don't know if the damage is related to your max HP or anything, or it's just a set amount. Barbs. It's just taking me to the Manticore entry. It just says deal damage with every movement. Damage is 2d4 plus times hit by the spikes up to 2d6. So it can do up to 12 damage per move. So it's not related to your max HP. So yeah, we'd have to move 1, 2, 3, 4 moves to get to the stairs. At which point the barbs could almost kill us. But here's the other thing. Let's look up the Manticore stats. Let's have a look at how much damage it can do with the barbs. Throw barbs is 2d13, so it can do 26 damage. So it can two-shot us with barbs, and then when it gets on top of us, it can one-shot us with damage. So what the hell is a d6 Manticore? What in the world? Alright, well, we need a teleport. That much is clear. The question is, do we also need to fear and teleport? Maybe. I don't know that we can fear this guy for a couple of reasons. One, fear checks the MR of monsters, and Manticores have relatively high MR. High enough for me not to be confident that we definitely get it. The other reason is that when enemies, when they fear from you and they hit a corner, they stop being feared. It's already in a corner, so I think even if we got it, it would just be like, oh, I've run away as far as I can, so now I'm going to attack you. Anyway, first things first, we need to teleport. Alright. Now the question is, do we just wait, or do we just move, or do we do something else? I don't think I want to move. I don't think there's any point trying to polymorph it. Polymorphing a Manticore right now, we could very easily get something even worse than that. I could call off the heal wounds. I don't know. I think I'm willing to wait. If we get barbed again, then we might heal wounds, or if it reaches us, because ideally our teleport kicks in before the Manticore actually gets to us. So I'm going to wait a turn. I'm not going to walk away because 1, we'll take barb damage, but 2, we're going to land somewhere potentially on an unexplored bit of floor. Hell, we might land right next to the Manticore again if we're really unlucky. But if we land somewhere, there's a lot of dangerous enemies around and we're still barbed, we won't be able to move. So I'm going to wait again. Okay, our teleport kicks in. This is what I meant. Alright. So I'm also really glad that I held on to my fear. So Our teleport is good in a way because we can see the upstair here. It's not good in a way because there's a bunch of things around and we're still barbed. But that's alright. Now we've got the fear. So we're going to read the fear scroll. We're going to wait until our barbs goes away, which is hopefully really soon. Come on, barbs. We may as well shoot the adder. Alright, barb's gone. Quick, to the stairs. Prince Ribbit comes into view. Go away. We've got multiple worker ants here. They're all susceptible to poison. So if we blowgun all of those guys, let's switch to our short sword of venom. Okay. It looks like we're dying, but I think we're okay. We've got 2 potions of curing. We reached level 8. We feel agile. Let's go back up. And let's never come back to D6 again, where there is Prince Ribbit, there's an Orc Warrior, and there is a D6 Manticore. What in tarnation? Alright, sometimes the game doesn't want you to streak. Where's the downstairs down here? I'm going to go over to this stair that is actually near the downstairs. I'm going to X this one out too. Wait, we don't know this one? Okay, I don't care. I don't want to be anywhere near the Manticore. Oh, right. We should be checking these gloves. I don't remember, did we already check it? Oh, these ones are dark blue. Okay, yeah, I like these. Now I'm thinking, do Manticores have seat invis? That's something I probably should have done. But in my panic, I forgot we had it. They don't see invis. Okay, so that would have been a good move. Where I was just waiting, I should have tried to put invis on. Alright, let's keep going. D6 doesn't exist. If I ever go back to D6, I don't know, scream at me or something. Potion of Magic, pretty nice. When we get, if we get to our later Chei abilities, they're quite hefty in terms of mana. Alright, there's the Ash Altar. So we've now seen every regular god in the game. I'm really scared right now. I don't know, the D6 Manticore has really sort of got me shook. Also, you might be thinking, rather than wait turns, you could have just been throwing stuff at the Manticore. There was no point. I knew I was never going to kill the Manticore, and then anything that we threw before we then teleported away would just be stuff that we don't then have. Alright, we've got an ogre. This looks like a good time to go invis. Alright. Also, I didn't talk about this, but we have bend time as well. You get this as soon as you worship Chei, not Chai. Although, yeah. It attempts to slow everyone adjacent to you. And that works on everything, even magic immune enemies. So you can use bend time to slow orbs of fire even. High invocation skill makes it harder to resist. So it's a pretty nice ability. I don't tend to use it much. Probably not as much as I should, but it's not a bad one. Costs you a small amount of piety, which is not a big deal. That's not a good reason not to use abilities. The reason I don't use it is because I'm sure my thinking is wrong here, but I usually feel like enemies that are scary enough that I want to use bend time on, I probably would prefer to just teleport away or something like that. Or just try to kill them even. Oh nice, okay, a Wand of Acid. That's really good. Why are we not picking up immolation scrolls? There are no... Oh, we are. Okay, never mind. I thought it wasn't on auto pickup. That was strange. Anyway. But Wand of Acid, really, really strong in the early game here. We're even training a little bit of evocation, so that's nice. I still wouldn't want to fight a Manticore with it though. But if we had to, that would help. This is freaking me out. This looks built, as in this looks like it's a vault of some sort, and we met an ant. I don't know if this is one of those ones that has... Oh, okay. I was going to say, one of the ones that has... what's that thing called? Hornets in it, but no. I see a Wraith. It's a finisher vault that has the Scythe finisher, which we're not allowed to use because Chei doesn't like any speed, including speed weapons. Alright, I want to get round the corner. I don't know what else is in there. I dare say it's probably more than just one Wraith. So, let's get ready. We're fighting it with Dagger of Valek. Probably. See, maybe we could slow this guy, or maybe we could go invis. He can't see invis. I should have done that already. Let's just fight him. I think we can take a Wraith. We're now slowed. That's okay. And I don't know. Maybe I'm going to preemptively go invis because I don't know what's in there. An iguana. More Wraiths. Alright. They can see invis? Wow, okay. Well, it turns out Wraiths could see invis anyway. So it didn't even matter. Alright, armor skill goes to 5. These things are all nice. We still have not seen remove curse. More Wraiths. Let's throw a javelin at this guy. Good. Remember that all this elect dagger I'm doing is with 0 short blades trained. If we ever find some really appealing melee weapon, maybe we can start training it. Alright, so here's an Orc Warrior. He's got a scimitar and a plate armor. We can probably poison him. Let's also go invis. So I'm using this quite a lot actually, but invis is really strong. Well, always really, but especially in the early game. As soon as we go invis, these monsters are much less threatening. A Wand of Clouds, nice. Only 2 charges, not so nice, but this is really good too. So we've got a lot of really nice tools for when things go south, things get nasty. Like that would be another potential play against the Manticore. Throw down a Wand of Clouds and then acid wand it. Anyway, that's not a good reason to go back up and fight it though. We'll be avoiding that for the near future. Let's go more strength, get more throwing power. And we picked up a couple of tomahawks. I'm going to quiver those by default. They're less valuable than javelins are. We can compare them. Tomahawk has a base damage of 6. A javelin has a base damage of 10. No. Let's X this hatch before my hatch testing compulsion kicks in, because we don't want to be testing next to the Manticore. We're doing Venom. More ID. Let's ID this scroll at this point. It's a scroll of fog. Okay, that could be quite helpful. We've done most of the floor, it looks like, so I don't mind just stepping on this teleport trap so that we can do the last bit of the floor. Yeah, there's another stair and some gold, so I'm going to say hashtag worth it. And let's keep going. D8 now. We can start to find lair, which is a bit scary because there are some really nasty lair entrance vaults that not being able to walk at normal speed is scary. So I'm thinking sometimes you get packs of death yaks. That would be really nasty. And there are some others. You can see hydras sometimes too. Note that we are still looking for our second remove curse scroll of the game. We're on D8. If this is not another reminder not to just trust that you have them when you're going to try things on, maybe it should be. Because, so say we've tried on all these rings and they're all cursed minus bad rings. And then we're just like, we'll find a remove curse scroll soon. Well, here we are on D8. Where's our second one? Okay, good. A Morning Star. Still not that special. Let's go for the Orc Warrior first. I think I still want to go Invis. Yeah, okay, I'm glad I did that because there's another Orc Warrior coming. Basically, this pack of 3 didn't look too scary, but we're next to so much unknown here that other enemies could be coming in, so we'll just preemptively go Invis. And indeed, there were more Orc Warriors coming, so that worked out well. Okay, he's got a Vampiric Short Sword. That might briefly excite you because you think, Vamp, that's an overpowered brand. But it's actually not a very good brand on a low base damage weapon like a short sword is. Here's Maurice, he's on D8. He always spawns with a wand now. He can go Invis, he can steal your stuff, which means he can steal your acid wand from you and use it against you. He can't see Invis, so I'm going to try that. Alright, good. And then, I don't know, now that we're Invis, I think we could probably just fight him. I don't know if he's going to go Invis as well while we're Invis, but I'm thinking another play could be to polymorph him. He doesn't have great MR, so we'd get a 60% chance to polymorph him. And most things he become would probably be not as bad as Maurice, but no, I don't like it. I'm going to throw not even an acid, I'm just going to poison him. And if we get him as sick as possible, so now I'm going to throw some things. We'll go with the javelins. I don't want to mess around, I'd rather just kill him. Alright, we're flickering, so we're coming back into sight. Now that he's next to us, let's stab him. Okay, we're back in view. He's very nearly dead though. Let's throw Tomahawk. Okay, got him. Alright, and we've got a +2 cloak. He always has a cloak, but it wasn't magical this time. And see, he didn't have a wand. Right? Yeah, he didn't. I don't know. I swear at the same time that Ijib was made to always have a wand, Maurice also was. But I've seen multiple times now where Maurice didn't actually have one. Maurice always has a cloak. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm imagining that, but I swear, someone fact check me. I could have sworn at the same time as Ijib, Maurice was given a wand. I'm gonna ID probably a potion. It's a potion of haste. So it's red because Chei will get really mad at us if we quaff haste. But I'm going to keep carrying it because there are potentially situations where quaffing a potion of haste, even though Chei will get mad, is preferable to being slow. And then I'm going to go /- to look at what scrolls we don't know. A whole bunch. So I probably don't mind just reading this. It's summoning, damn it. Punished. A really good one not to want to waste. There's our lair. Didn't have anything guarding it, which is nice. We picked up another artifact armor, which again we're not going to put on because we still don't have remove curse. And that's D8. Let's keep going. I don't want to go into lair yet. I normally prefer to do well, up to D11. We might not go that far with Chei because unlike normal characters who could see some dangerous D11 things and walk away from them, this one can't. Dodging. Oh, evocations reach 5. Okay, that's good. I wonder if we should keep going. We've got only 2 charges on clouds and 6 acid. So I think we're okay. If we had, say, a paralysis wand, or maybe something like 8 cloud charges, I'd keep going with evocations, but 5 seems fine. And let's invis before we go back down, so then we can stab these yaks. I don't know, maybe we should be training stealth and short blades so that we can invis stab stuff. That legit? Minotaurs are really bad at stealth, right? -1. They're not as bad as I might have thought. I don't know that I've ever trained stealth on a Minotaur before. But maybe we should. And I unironically mean that, because not being able to run away from things, it's really strong if they never see you in the first place. And you might be thinking, but Ultra, you're wearing a chainmail. How are you intending to be stealthy in chainmail? Chei characters can do sort of unusual things. Because our dexterity is going to be so high, we're actually going to be better at stealth than you would typically expect. I don't know. So maybe a bunch of bees. That's okay. Well, we'll ignore this step for the moment. I'm going to exit out. But we have lignification potions for bees, so I'm not too afraid. We also have a venom short sword, and because they're susceptible to poison, that will kill them really quickly. Alright. Turns out this stair wasn't a good one either. We're also killing these guys with our retaliation horn attacks. Quick check of our shopping list. I'm recalling that there are a bunch of really good things here. So I guess add that to the waiting pile. We're waiting for thousands of gold to be able to afford this stuff. Yeah. I think the ring is probably the best one. RF plus, RN plus, MR triple plus. And poison resistance is really good too. Yeah, okay. So there's a bunch of stuff we want to buy. One last check. Yeah. Okay, a bunch of stuff. We could afford a pair of boots right now, but I think we're probably okay to not need 1 extra AC right now. Rather save that money for those better rings. Good. Okay, so in this situation, it is probably better to walk slowly back to the hallway so that we can fight the yaks one at a time, rather than have all 3 surround us. Although if we can go invis, scrap all of that. Okay, well we eventually can. But we can go invis and then walk back. Okay, that works too. I'm just going to keep going back to the stair because our invis is running out. These yaks are fine one at a time, but if we're going to be surrounded by 5 of them at once, we are not able to fight those guys yet. He's scaring me enough that I want to bend time. We slowed him. We're nearly dying here. Let's see. Yak can do 18 damage. Alright, new plan. Wait. How long do we take to throw a javelin? Probably longer than a turn, so I shouldn't throw a javelin right now because it could allow the yak to have 2 attacks. But it's slowed as well. Alright, we're going to throw a javelin. If I die, I'll be really embarrassed. It takes us 1.0 to throw a javelin. Okay, that's okay. Alright, good. So we kill it. We mulch one, but I think that's a fine price to pay because that was looking really nasty right there. I'm trying to have a look. If we're invis first, I think we can stair pull just fine. Reach level 10. Let's bring these guys up. We just saw that yak fights can go really nasty. We're back in vision. I'm going to bend time again. It failed. Alright, we got them. Alright, and let's throw our javelins. I'd really like to keep our heal wounds if we could. It can do 18 max damage, so at this stage, we probably need a heal. Kind of annoying. We've got 3 heal wounds. Okay, that's alright. Alright, so that was a really wasted heal wounds. I could have stair danced these guys up immediately rather than trying to fight them, and then we wouldn't have had to have used it. So say we came down, I killed one, and then we pulled two up. If I just come down and pulled two up without fighting first, we would have been perfectly fine. But I make a greed play, and then we lose a heal wounds potion. Let's eat this stuff. Okay. I'm also resting off the contamination here. If you use invis too often, you get contaminated. So I want to do that. Let's go invis again. There's a lot of stuff here right now. Probably not enough that I want to blow our clouds. Hungry Ghosts can see invis. There you go. Alright, well we got him anyway. We're in a hallway, so we can fight this stuff one at a time, I think. I should be using our short sword of venom against killer bees though. Alright, good. Is there anything I want to do? So we can maybe try to go invis again. We're still contaminated, but it's only grey. I don't know. I think if we invis now, there'd be a chance that we'd get contaminated. I'm gonna risk it for science. Okay, so it's fine. We're still white. It's only once it goes to yellow contam that you're gonna start getting mutations. But if I did it again now, we would get it. And the thing is as well, if you go yellow contam, it means you're glowing. So the invis doesn't even work anyway. Things can see you. They keep coming. We're dropping to roughly half HP. This is maybe bad enough that I want to start using some sort of evocables. I'm going to go with Acid Wand. I'd like to keep our clouds if we could. It's really valuable. Okay. I'll go one more. This is nasty enough. Okay, now I think we're okay. I'm even going to try to polymorph the North Shaman actually. Okay, we didn't get it. Let's throw javelins then. The reason I'm thinking of maybe, or why I tried to polymorph him, is because he can haste other. So he's just going to haste the other gnolls, which isn't that threatening, but it's a little bit annoying. Alright, well we're good. Okay, well we just reached 3 pips of piety, so we now have temporal distortion. It's kind of a weird ability. Note how it says that it's instant. So there are a couple of interesting uses for it that maybe we'll go into when it happens. But this happens immediately, and then let's describe it. It warps the flow of time, causing monsters to skip forwards in time relative to you. It's kind of like skipping a bunch of turns. So what often happens is monster AI tells them to run to you. So it's a way to potentially get ranged enemies adjacent to you, because by skipping they then run to you. But it's not guaranteed. It's a little bit funky. We should have our elect dagger out. But that's the main reason is to try to get ranged enemies to you, I would say. Why don't we try some stones? Let's see how well we throw stones. Wow, quite well. We got 22 strength, so there you go. I mean, that's just a null, so it's not that surprising. But maybe we're a legit stone chucker right now. Kind of. Crimson Imp is throwing them back. There you go. We won the throwing duel. Okay, I don't want to mess around throwing stones at an ogre. We'll poison him. Good. Alright. As soon as we hit a bee with a poison needle, it's probably dying. We've got a book. That's an ice beast. That's fine. I'm trying to think. Okay. There's a vault that's similar to this that has a Hydra in it, but it doesn't appear to be this one. Let's throw tomahawks. Ice beasts have our poison, so trying to poison it with the blowgun is probably not going to work. But look at that, we two-shot it with the tomahawks. That's pretty good. Our throwing's up to 10, so we're doing pretty decent damage. And then we've got 23 strength, so this is good. He had a wand of flame. Would have been very useful against the ice beast. Yeah, okay, yep. This is the guy who's the kobold who's drinking. He's got heal wounds and degen. Normally it's ambrosia, so that's not what I would have expected. And look, still no remove curses. Well, we've got plenty of food. I was throwing tomahawks at the hungry ghost to try to not lose all our food, but we have 15 rations, so that wasn't a huge concern. He has a wand of acid. Okay, so this Crimson Imp is really scary. Crimson Imps with wands of acid are the most insane, crazy thing ever. You can polymorph Crimson Imps, but because they're a demon, they're only going to become other demons, so it's probably not a great idea. How do we kill him? I can shut the door and force him to come to us. I can also go invis. And I'm pretty sure Crimson Imps don't see invis. Okay, so that's good. Let's throw a tomahawk. Oh, we killed it in one. Okay, well that's great. And we get his acid charges, so we've got 5. Okay, that's nice. Let's eat. We'll wait off the contam. Yeah, the early game Crimson Imp acid ones are nuts. Not so bad now, it's D9, but when you get one on, say, D3 or something like that, which happened in my Hillock game, it's really unfair. Here's a closet. Not afraid of those. They can steal your stats. Apparently they can steal your dex, but we've got Chei bonus stats, so no biggie. That's D9 done. We're going to keep going. We'll at least try D10. If we have to run away from stuff, say we see a Manticore, it's going to be tough, but I don't know. We can at least try it out. I noticed that we've finally found a remove curse scroll, so we're no longer waiting for this world to stop hating. Can't find a good reason. Can't find hope to believe in. A ring of fire, okay. So, did I remove it from the shopping list? Yes. Okay, so that's good. We got 2 of those apparently. Oh yeah, also what book did we get? I didn't even notice. Sorry. We don't know any spells. Where's our spell library? Confusing Touch, Confuse, Gale's Gravitas, Petrify. Confusing Touch might be interesting. It's a level 1 spell, so it doesn't take much training. And then it would allow us to confuse stuff with unarmed attacks. We've trained no weapon, so that's possible. I don't know. We'll see. Probably not though. Unarmed combat is another skill where you want to train it to 27. So if we've got throwing, which we want to take to 27, and unarmed combat, that's probably too much at the one time. Protection from Magic Ring, nice. And Ring of Stealth. Are we doing it? Are we training stealth? Probably not. Or again, maybe. Maybe. Anyway, let's keep going. So, the Ring of Protection from Magic is really nice. The Ring of Stealth, not so important, but also pretty good. It's potentially going to allow us to avoid stuff. A troll. Can't see invis. Can we? There, good. Trolls do nasty amounts of damage. Up to 50 per turn, so you need to respect those guys this early in the game. It's a troll leather armor. We don't really care about that. We want heavier armor. And we like our chainmail because see how much invis use we're getting? Imagine if we lost that, how much harder this game would be. Wow, okay, I think we found our Orc entrance. I'm really tempted to immolation scroll right now. Should I immolation? We can't run away from these guys, that's the thing to remember. I mean, we're in a hallway, we can go invis, but immolation would be so fun right now. Alright, I'm doing it. We have throwing weapons as well, so let's quiver the most damaging one we can get, which is the javelins. And then let's blow them up before they get on top of us. Oh god, I regret everything. We need to blow this stuff up. Please. Oh god. Alright, we need to blow this stuff up right now. Because next turn, these guys are going to start getting adjacent to us. And then they're going to start exploding on top of us. I reckon we can javelin this guy. I believe. Alright, there we go. Okay, good. Now let's keep going. Why can't we hit that guy? I think we should start backing up. We should force them to walk into the fire if they want to approach us. That wasn't actually as good as I was hoping. I mean, fire's always good, it's fun, but yeah. We didn't kill everyone. A bunch of them are still chasing us like this, just immolated. Fortunately they have pole arms, so they're not going to step adjacent to us. So I'm going to throw tomahawks at him. His immolation ran out. Oh god, okay, his one did too. He didn't have a pole arm, he was about to get out all close and personal. Look at our stone throwing, it's actually doing stuff. We're throwing stones and killing those regular orcs. I mean, this has to be our orc entrance vault, right? We'll throw tomahawks at this guy. And we can probably do stones. Okay, yeah. Yeah, indeed. Because our orc entrance. We've got an identify scroll. We could go with the potion or the faintly glowing scale mail. I want to go with the scale mail. It's a curse plus 0 scale mail. Not really that exciting. Its main use would potentially be RF, but we've got 2 rings of fire anyway. Oh god, Snorg saw us. Snorg, terrifying. She goes berserk, which is all you need to know. She's a troll and then she goes berserk, and berserked enemies do 50% damage and they move fast. I see that we've got 4 pips of piety, so we've got access to Slatch now. Our what's that thing called? Our failure rate isn't amazing, as in we can fail at 20% of the time because our invocations are only at 5. But this is a really cool ability. So the amount of damage it does depends on the difference in speed between you and the enemies. It's AoE, hits everything on screen, it can't miss. So it gets more powerful as your piety rises, so you're slower, but it also does additional damage against fast enemies. So say if Snorg does berserk right now, she'd be moving faster, so we do additional Slatch damage. I don't really want to fight her, but again, this is Chei, so we can't walk away. Cannot walk away. So we've got 4 teleport scrolls if need be. Snorg can't see invis, I'm pretty sure. She can't. So if we go invis, that will help too. And I mean, she might be scary enough that we use a Wand of Clouds on, and we potentially can just kill her. We also might potentially just kill her with acid if we could corrode her. So when you corrode a monster, they get -8 AC, and then we just probably throw javelins. That's our most powerful attack. She hasn't gone invis, she still can't see us. Yeah, okay. And if she goes berserk now, I'm pretty sure we could finish her off with a Slatch. Alright, we got her. Alright, so that worked. Invis MVP. If we didn't have Invis, I think I would have either teleported away immediately, or if I wanted to try to fight, see if we could roll a good, oh wow, Wand of Clouds. Oh man. Okay, thank you devs. Oh god. Okay. Well, we just got shafted 3 floors from D10 to D13. There's an ice cave on this floor, which is great. We don't have any RC. Oh, we do. We do have RC on our chainmail, but I don't know. I don't think we're strong enough to go in an ice cave yet. We're not even strong enough to be on D13. And what's so sucky about this is we're Chei. So we can't even try to run for the stairs because everything we find here, we're probably going to be slower than. So that is super mega unfair. Again, we're the optimal trap avoidance haters right now. Okay, well, I'm gonna stop this one for now because I'm pretty mad. I'm actually really mad. If you join me in the next one, we'll be trying to get back upstairs. I mean, if we find an ice cave, I probably won't go in, but that's not the concern here. The concern is just trying to get back upstairs. I wish we had a magic mapping. 3-4 shaft. Feels good, man. Alright, that's it. Bye.